Congratulations, you have effectively eradicated a mole. One molehill down. How many more to go? But you've unmasked one here that was pretty greedy for something that you have, that you've been holding on to here, that you've been definitely keeping to yourself about, something you've been nurturing here, that you don't want contaminated by outside interference. And you sussed out this energy, you cut it off before it could become detrimental. We're here for a portal report. We're going to check out the next 72 hours. We are not here to look at karmics. We're not here to look at destiny swappers. We're not here to look at what's going on in people's lives that you have no contact with, that you have nothing to do with. We're not here to spy on other people and thereby weaken our energy because we get caught up in their storyline, which quite frankly isn't one that you want to be involved in anyway. I saw a dove flying in reverse up in the sky, in the clouds, which made me think that you have made a very wise choice to just let something go. Like, you don't need to revisit anything. You don't need to hash it out. You don't need to look at it from different angles. You have self-knowledge here. You know where your new beginning is. You know what gets you hung up. You have gone through a transformation here, and you're really thinking about new beginnings, what you want to grow, what you're really invested in, who's invested in you, who's with you, present around you, not what ifs, what could be's, or any of this kind of nonsense, any of this kind of elusive stuff. That's not where your focus is. You are pulling your influence, your awareness, your focus, any of that back. And I feel like you already did a while ago. You've really been just sort of working on yourself and tending to your own road here. Yeah, future not found. You're like, I don't see future there. There's too many secrets, too much subterfuge, too many moles in that direction. I like things up front, okay? Somebody may be wondering what's going on with this cutoff. What are you about to glean here? Yeah, you're going for that cosmic carrot, that golden carrot in the sky. You know that in order to obtain it, you have to move on up. You can't continue to hang out in the south node. So let's see what this is, okay? I do feel like you know what doesn't glean anything for you. You know what's fallow. Yeah, you know what leaves you hungry, and you know what's going to give you something to celebrate. So you're catching Pluto by the tail here. You're not getting caught up in any karmic spin cycle. Judgment's been sounding. There's been spiritual transformation. And let's get on with the show here. That's what I'm seeing, just as an initial energy. And I like this, you know. You don't want to focus on past storylines. You don't need to sit around figuring out what happened back there. You just know it didn't feel good, man. You just know it wasn't right. And if people are meant to join your path down the road, oh, this effing guy, big sexy Satan here, well, you know, you'll find out in due time. But when you kind of put focus on what so-and-so did back there, and you keep your attention on past matters, you really are sort of feeding an energetic corpse. That stuff's not helpful. Yeah, you know, clean your energy if you're in this space. There's nothing sanctimonious or holy about being holier than thou and revisiting situations and looking at what that person's karma may be. I mean, you're only holding yourself up here. This is time to use your instinctual awareness and understand that the order of the day is transformation. And if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, if it looks like a duck, well, F a duck, man. They're going to have to figure their way out of this situation. Looks like it won't be water off a duck's back. It's looking a little greasy there. It's looking a little greasy there. This could be a slick character that you dealt with. Whatever's going on with them, it's none of your business, okay? So try to keep your focus right here, right now. Yeah, just keep hanging loose, surfing that Zavuya, going through the transformation, experiencing some ripples. Some see them as huge waves, but to you, they're just ripples, waves of creation. You've tapped into the chaos as the creative force that can birth new realities. It's an electrifying ride sometimes, but I see you're hanging loose because you've remembered your origin story. You've gotten back to your roots. And anything that's kind of on the periphery, that's acting up, acting out, you know, threatening to burn bridges, well, you know, you're not worried about bridges. You're already in the deep end. I don't need no bridge. Go ahead, burn it. So let's check it out. Yeah, happy rebirth day to you. I hope you're enjoying that energy of that new moon that we just had. It's really lightening things up. We're in this cycle here, and where you have felt divided, okay, where you have been sort of hashing things out internally, trying to figure out what's my next step, what's my next move. I'm getting older, you know, maybe I should do more of the responsible thing, or I don't know, my instincts tell me maybe I should hedge my bets. You know, that's a little bit of that Uranus and Gemini influence there. I think you're about to figure it out. I think you're ready to move on up. That's what I see, okay? You're not weighed down. I think that you're at peace with the way things are. I think you're at peace with whatever had to be let go. I think you're at peace with the truths you've discovered, even those that were harsh, okay? I think you're at peace. I mean, and I think you're just protecting your peace. Yeah, you're protecting your peace. Look at that. Like, you're cutting off any clingy energies that just want to pull you back into some manipulative cycle with sex witch and octopus here. And yeah, there may have been these energies that tried to crawl out of the crypt and sort of insert their energy into your sphere. You may have felt that, but I feel like you just were like, nah, no. We're not revisiting this, you know? They're not revisiting this. I don't know why I find it so funny, but it's funny. And I'm seeing again, there's like a whale-shaped cloud in the sky. The sky's sort of stormy out there today. But it's like a cleansing rain. It is. It's like a cleansing rain. It hasn't been, you know, coming down in a deluge, nothing like that. We don't need to get the ark, not just yet. Not just yet. We're not quite at that portion of the story, but yeah, the records, you know, the records are opening up. Certainly in our present, you know, experience that we're having on planet Earth, we're getting the records opening up. We're learning what people have been up to. We're learning what world leaders have been up to. We've been learning about the uses of power, and you know, we're kind of ready to go to bat with this effing guy who's been misusing power since the beginning of time. And by that effing guy, I mean the man, okay? If you're focused, worried about little petty social drama stuff, you need to get your head in the game, because it really isn't about that. It's such a distraction right now when you really need to be present. You need to be present about real threats, real dangers to this birth that wants to come about, and ain't nobody upon here in this collective, okay? We don't deal with this bottom feeder energy. We're moving the energy up to a different octave, and we don't feed off of fear. We feed off of self-empowerment and empowering others and finding connecting points, not focusing on little dramas going on in social circles that are related to children that never grew up, acting out their secret fears through one another, trying to be the big, bad, tough one that overcomes the evil that they have projected onto that other person on the other side of the table. And it just keeps going and going and going and going and going and going in a never-ending circle. Look at this. Look at all these incarnations, past incarnations that have already been shed, already to come back to the same beginning point. Again, it's old, it's tired, flushed it already. You know, when you're ready to just be real, when you're ready to just have fun, when you're ready to stop playing games or trying to one-up someone or being in competition with someone or trying to put somebody else down or trying to make somebody the bad guy or blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you know, when you're hungry enough, maybe then you can find the strength and the courage to come out and play with your truth. And, you know, I think first you have to make it through that hall of mirrors though, right? You got to shatter all the distortions and what you're seeing reflected here. And maybe even where you projected those fears, who you put them on, man. Because obviously something here is out of order. And somebody's made a decision here, man. They've cut it off. There's no complication. They did it just like Alexander the Great. No, I'm not going to play your little game. I'm not working through your maze of confusion. I'm not going to find my way to the center of your labyrinth where you got a dungeon waiting for me there. No, it's really quite simple. I just cut off the knot, man. See, I just cut it off like that. It's magic. It's magic when you just have full agency of your independent thought. And you say, no, I know how to root my power in this world, in this experience. I know how to see through deception. I know how to rise above it. I don't need to go on that merry-go-round ride. I don't need to go on that Ferris wheel ride. I'll take the roller coaster. I'll take the unpredictability. It may be the dark moon with the new moon, but I still have vision in the night, and I'm using it to elevate myself here. I like this. Good energy, collective. You've reclaimed your crown. Nobody's tapping into your vision here. Nobody's tapping into your vision. Nobody's siphoning your energy. Nobody's coming here to try to, take your place, take your spot. What even is that? Even to hold that thought is very contradictory to the true nature of your being. And you know this. You've overcome that. You're not stuck in that modality. It's a modality. It's operative in this world. It works well with the algorithm, but you don't necessarily want to work within the framework of that algorithm. You're going to create an algorithm all your own, and your algorithm loves you. Yes. Your algorithm loves you. You know, if you start seeing a bunch of stuff you don't want to see on your algorithm, it's easy to change that. It's easy to program that. That's all you have to do. And your algorithm, it does love you. It shows you what you are fixated on. That's how it's programmed. Ooh, now we're getting juicy here. Now we're getting to the meat of the matter. Now we're really understanding, oh, that's why I kind of keep birthing the same things over and over again, because I keep kind of looking at the same kind of things. And once I start switching that up and go, well, let me look at a different perspective. Let me look at things in a new way. Maybe it isn't about the karmics. Maybe it isn't about, who's doing this or that to me. Maybe it's just really about me and what I want to focus on and what I want to grow here. Oh, what a novel idea. I wonder what could happen if I do that. And suddenly there's this transformation that takes place. There's a real transformation that takes place here. And it's a transformation in how you see things, right? It's like getting sort of a psychonaut type of vision without having to take in any psychotropics, You're just there all the time. In that field of creativity, that quantum field of creativity. And so you start tuning into new things, right? You start thinking about the things you're interested in. You start searching for those things online. You start finding new community. You start connecting with new types of people. And you go, wow, man, okay. My algorithm really does love me, because when I change what I'm focusing on, when I change what I'm tuning into, then I get tuned into the right things. And all of a sudden, what was an infinite cosmic mess comes right back into the center of me. Here I am, goop stage again. I'm seeing things very differently. Oh, I get to program reality. I'm the one in charge. It has nothing to do with what anyone over there is doing or what kind of karma they're going to get or any of that nonsense. You see, look at this effing hourglass. You're waiting for that shadow to go into the flame instead of just diving in head first yourself. Why are you watching what's going on in the shadow when you're being called to move into the light? All right? So yes, there's like borders dissolving here, borders dissolving in reason as something becomes clear, as the fears become clear. And maybe even as the fears become clear that you're seeing in the other, maybe this is the thing that starts to bridge the gap. Starts to bridge the gap in understanding. It's a learning experience as we head on to the other side of that dark moon. We're in the light building phase now. Look for this to continue to increase. Look for what at one point you looked at it. It's like this huge, great fear, you know, some dark force that was oppressing you, and you start to see it like a little baby. It's just a baby. It's just a baby. And it's also talking to the part in you too that just got born anew and they're starting to see things in a brand new way, okay? Yes, I like this. It's like transmutation of the fear. Plunging deep into the dark, into that void. Yes, here you go. Here we go. Yeah, okay. All right. I'm ready. I'm not resisting it. I was trying to rise before my time. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. All right, let's take a knee. Let's get ready. Let's go head first. We're ready to drop, all right? We're ready to be born here. We're ready to see what's on the other side, okay? We don't quite have that scorpion's tail grasped yet, but we're well on our way. We already know the rebirth is imminent. One of you may have risen. This could be something where you're dealing with two here, okay? There's somebody who's mirroring you in this experience. One of you has already risen, and the other is finally acquiescing, okay? I'm going to the delivery room whether I want to or not. I guess this is it, folks, okay? So, still holding on a little bit to the illusion, to, you know, the old cycle here, but ready to get a different perspective. That's what I'm seeing. This is positive energy. Yeah, ooh, it's that mole that got cut off. We got the peen weasel here, okay? Feeling a little bit impotent. I thought I was moving subterraneanly. I thought nobody saw what I was doing back there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did see it. And I see myself too, you know? And maybe I am ready to truly get my fire back here. But I gotta dive deep to find that. So this is somebody recognizing that they can't sneak around in this territory, okay? They gotta come correct, you know? They gotta come correct. They've been operating subversively. But there's something here that is reaching a crucial point. So this is interesting. Okay. One's already on the upward trajectory here. Another is about to be, but they got to go south first to get north. That's the way this is working. I mean, such it is when you're going through your rebirth. So happy rebirth day to those of you who are on that end of the journey. And for those of you just entering this portal, congratulations. Pretty soon that mess will be far behind you and you'll see something new come into view. It'll be a new creation that's born out of your self-awareness, and so it's got to be much better than whatever was going down in the past. Yeah, just give a finger to that stuff, king shit. Okay, it's really time to represent where you're at. It's time to let all that shit go as well. And I do feel like time is on your side here. You do have your vision locked. It's a vision that's emerging from your heart. You've taken the bull by the horns. You've also taken charge of your BS, your bullshit, your belief systems, the way that you've seen things that have kept you in a holding pattern, and the only one who's been holding you back is yourself, okay? I see the crown is straightened. That's good. I also see it's fixed. It's in place. Excellent, okay? And you are holding your power by opening your road and giving the finger to anything that you had told yourself was blocking your road, recognizing that that's an illusion. The only one who can let go of blocks is you. Nobody else can put those in your place. And since you've discovered this, look at this. Here comes the gravy funnel. And there's something that's protected here. There's a treasure that's protected here. There's something here that you're going to get to cock-a-doodle-doo about. You're going to feel pretty cocky about it. It's okay to have that moment where you're like, I did it, man. I did it. I overcame all that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Caradwin has consumed the seed that will come to be the wizard washed up on the shore. You're just about to enter that portal there. In fact, we're all heading into that portal there, each in our own way. The journey looks different for everybody here, but it is something that opens our road. And it does give us some kind of fertilizer that will make our garden grow. So I do like this energy. This looks really good. Let's do a cut of the deck here, because this is the gravy funnel, man. So this is something coming in that really like fills us up. I feel like it gives us a little extra juice, you know, a little extra oomph for the road ahead, because by no means are we at the final destination here. We're just getting started. Very much like an Ace of Cups energy, but it's like fuel me up. That's what I feel. Something's coming in here that makes you a believer, like, okay, I got what it takes for the rest of the journey. It's been rough, and I've been getting a little frustrated at times, waiting on divine timing and all this, and it's like that little bit of reprieve comes in just when you feel like, I can't wait anymore, you know. A lot of it has to do with your willingness to just allow something to be what it is, you know. It's like as soon as you accept that, you stop worrying about what's going on with somebody else, and you just kind of look at yourself and your immediate environment and what you have before you and what you can do and how you can make that a better place. Then one thing leads to another. But as long as you get sort of fixated on this stuff, and you'll know if you're fixated on that stuff, because all you need to do is look at your algorithm. It's programmed for you, what you're tuning into most. So if you're tuning into a lot of drama, if you're tuning into a lot of stuff that keeps feeding these narratives, then that's all you're going to see on your algorithm. And you'll know that you're getting there and you're starting to see things more clearly and for yourself through your own independent thought when you start going, I don't want to see this on my algorithm anymore. And so you stop watching certain things and you tune certain things out and you start tuning into different things and you start exploring. And then you're like, oh, this is a different energy signature. Funny, I feel a lot differently too. And then you'll find that, you know, what used to jive for you doesn't anymore because there's just no resonance there. It's like, that's not part of my energy field anymore. All right. You program your reality. I think there's something coming in here that is proving this to you, and it's like some reward. It's a little bit of a recognition for coming to a certain state of self-awareness on your path. You alchemize something here. And also with that sort of mole influence, you might have called out like a part of yourself that you recognize, you know what, this is really holding me back. Like, I don't want to even look at this anymore. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm ready to get on to the good stuff. Let's get on to the montage part of this story. I feel like I got what it takes to bring on this dawn. All right, let's see what we got here on the other side. It's probably nothing. What is this? There's a little, see, I think this is the one that's recognizing that they got to go through some initiatory process here. You hear a lot about gatekeeping in the spiritual community. You know, there's a certain reason why you got to pass through certain initiatory gateways. If you go through them before you're ready for them, it can be really harmful. And that's why it's always good to have a guide. That's why it's always good to have a guide. Not saying you can't, but if you do, if you go through a gateway that, you know, you haven't been prepared for, or you're like a mole and you find a way around it, a sneaky way around it, you know, it will bring you to your knees. It's pretty fierce moving through an energy like that. You may not be ready for it. Psychologically, you may not be ready for it. This is especially when it comes to matters of the occult and people who kind of teach themselves. Like, you can learn certain things on your own, but if you really want to work within a tradition, it's always wise to understand the roots. It's always wise to work with elders who can support you, you know, in navigating that territory. And there are some people who just get really egocentric and they feel like they have nothing to learn. And they go and they rush in where fools fear to tread, or even fools fear to tread. That's what that is. I mean, it's one way. It's one way to enter a portal of transformation for sure, but it can have quite the repercussions, man. It's probably nothing. I think it'll come back together the way it's supposed to. I don't know about that, Queen of Holes, you know? I don't know about that, you know? That remains to be determined. There's some kind of vision that needs to be reclaimed here. There's some kind of vision that's lost. There's a lot of siphoning energy here. A lot of cords, okay? I also feel like this could be somebody that recognized, you know, they got corded into something here. And it actually took more than it gave, right? Maybe somebody pulled back their energetic cords as well. They said, no, I don't want to be tapped in on this level. This isn't healthy. Now they're feeling how depleted they are. But hey, at least now you have an opportunity to generate your own empowerment here, okay? That's a certain kind of power too. Recognizing, right? When you've given your power away, that's important. You know, and those who guide people, you know, in things that, you know, they're not even sure that person is ready to step into. It's irresponsible, you know. There's a little bit of education that comes with that too. Anytime you're dealing with matters of the occult, I mean, in life as well, you know. The sooner we think we know everything and we got everything figured out, then that's when you're really going to get taught a lesson, right? But this looks good. I like this gravy funnel. You do have somebody that's kind of like, it feels like it's sort of on the periphery of your energy here that I feel is going through some kind of recognition here. And they're going through some kind of transformation. And it's a little challenging, to say the least, you know. But at the same time, it's good because that's what's going to bring about freedom for that individual. And for some reason, it's wanting to filter into your energy to let you know about it. But I feel it'll be good because, I mean, this energy came out upright initially, right? So I feel like they do come out the other side. So this is good. So if somebody's going through this kind of an experience right now and you feel apprehensive about it because you've heard all the doom and gloom mongers out there in tarot land talking about people going through karma and they make it out like it's like a bad thing. It's like absolutely ridiculous, first of all. We are all karmic. We are all born into karma. Life is a school and we're here to learn and grow. There's always going to be times when you go through rough experiences or you go through loss or you have to see something that you weren't aware of before. It's healthy. It's part of the growth process. We all go through this. We all go through different layers of realization. Okay, so I see that there's something here that you're grasping though. Like whoever this is, you acknowledged it to yourself. You recognize that you need to change the way you're moving here, and that's healthy. That's good. That's good. There will be something that's transformed here. You're going to be freed from a lot of your fears that you've had. Okay? So yeah, it's something. Okay? You are going through something. You may never have gone through a transformation on this level before. Again, I'm picking up like maybe somebody who ventured somewhere where they weren't adequately prepared for it. That's where a guide can be helpful. In this kind of terrain, you know, the right kind of support is important. All right. Is that it? Do I want to do one more cut on that? I feel like I need to do one more cut for this little Pablo here, who's ready to go through some kind of transformation, who's starting to recognize that there's a lot of glommy energy there that needs to be like cast off. Tried to ignore it for a while, but it's becoming a little difficult to do because it's starting to feel really siphoning here. wanting to take back one's power, wanting to walk through the door in a new way, not crawling on hands and knees, but standing upright. It's good. It's positive. Let me get a cut of the deck for whoever this is here. See what we got. Yeah, see, I told you. Happy rebirthday, man. All right? Chill out. We got 5 candles on this cake. So, yeah, I get it, you know. When you're going through a transformation, those 5s are a lot of instability. But the 5s are also the Vitruvian, man, you know. You are a star. You are born from the stars. And like the stars, you will rise again, okay? There is levity that comes through on the other side, here on the other side of this ending, okay? So rejoice, because the only key you're losing here is a key that was taking you to the bowels of hell. It wasn't taking you to the kingdom. So it's okay to throw this key away. There's something much better on the other side, all right? Cool, cool. I like this energy. Let's get some straight up glow-in-the-dark tarot here. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of fear around this. I see that. Somebody's having trouble around this. They feel scared. They feel scared. I feel it's like, you know how it's coming through? It's like feeling haunted by your actions. Maybe haunted by the things you said. Wishing you could take it back. Wishing you could take back what you said. Somebody's words are haunting them. Like ill that they spoke on another, or maybe cautions that they didn't respect, or the way they misjudged another, and now they feel like it's too late. Somebody's facing their fears in this situation for sure. They might be having some difficulty sleeping. Right, try to calm down your nervous system, man. All right, go take a nice warm bath. Put some mineral salts in that bath. Light a candle. You know, turn on some relaxing music. When you get out of that bath, you know, put some warm oil on your body. Get yourself in something cozy. Make yourself a warm, nourishing meal, okay? You'll feel a lot better. Be mindful of what you tune into. Tune into things that like lift your spirit. Tune into things that comfort you. Don't tune in to doom and gloom, man. Right? Maybe read a book instead. Or do a little art, okay? Or just rest curled up to your pet and just talk to them about it and give them a little love, all right? Somebody is feeling scared about what went down back there, but it's done. Like, it's already been done, you know? The past is the past. It's set in stone. It's pointless to focus on it. There's nothing you can do about it. It's complete. And now we're in a new cycle here. That new moon in Libra really did usher in a new cycle, 33 on the clock, okay? So get out of the crossroads and take the first step. Whatever direction feels like it is the path of heart and aligned with you, that's the way you need to go. Got fixed sign energy coming in here. Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, and Taurus, okay? It's time to take an important step. And that might be difficult, all right? Because there is like this sense of conflict here. There's like competition here on the periphery. I mean, but I feel like something came to an end here. Like, there isn't. What is there to contest? What is there to fight about? Something's already been completed. Like, it's completed. I think this is what causes one stress, where one wants to continue to be in a fight with someone over something. Yeah. No, judgment's already been called here. Like, this is when we're getting to the other side of some difficult territory. Now there's a new lease on life. You know, we're at the beginning of a brand new learning cycle. The keys to the kingdom have already been granted here. The road is already open with the Fool. Nothing's holding us back. The old cycle has ended. I mean, why would you want to invest your new direction in reviving this? Because that's all this conflict's going to bring. Yeah. This could, to me, this looks a little bit like cross-watcher energy here. And I don't really focus on cross-watcher energy because I don't really feel it's helpful. So let's clear that out, you know, but that's where it's at. I mean, you can't argue with yourself. I mean, you can, but make that make sense. I feel like, you know, this is somebody that's like engaged in an argument that nobody else is invested in. I don't know what this is, but it's pointless, you know. It is what it is. And I see there's an open road here. That's what it looks like. So why be focused in a direction of, you know, trying to press restart on the Ten of Swords? Because that's how it'll end up again. There's like a whole new perspective that's needed here. There's a need to grasp matters of the 8th house by the tail here. You can't resist the cycle of life. I mean, you can enter a spin cycle. You can go on repeat with that, and you can keep experiencing the Ten of Swords. But why, man? When the gravy funnel's on offer, this feels like cross-watcher energy here. So let's just clear that out. Let's focus on the collective here who is invested in growth, not the mole energy. Clearing out the mole energy. Oh, we got a ways to go, right? There's 8 billion moles. We can do Yeah, I mean, you know, this is the thing. There are no fluctuating fortunes here. This is in reverse, you know. There's no trying to maintain the balance. The balance has already been achieved. So there's nothing more to really look at here. That's that. Okay, what's coming in for the collective here? Yeah, I mean, do look for this on the periphery and don't take the bait, okay? I think that's just coming in to be aware that this energy is out there, okay? And this energy is persistent. And this energy is hungry. And it's also fueled by the media. And it feeds fear. And it creates constriction. So you don't want to plug into this energy. And this energy is like, no, stop calling it out, man. You're disrupting the whole program here. Hell yeah, I'm disrupting this whole program. We got the King of Wands. Wiffle waffling, okay? Trying to find the balance. Trying to find the balance in something that's become kind of a messy or conflicted situation. How do I use my power effectively to clear up a very conflicted situation where everything's out of balance? How do I balance this out? How do I balance this out and reclaim the authority of my road? Well, by just stepping on the road and walking away from a conflict. I mean, why are you battling it out with these people? I don't understand. You just simply do like that dove cloud I saw in the sky. You just reverse it. You flip it up and reverse it. Sometimes that's how you get Uno, man. You just got to flip it up and reverse it. You don't need to sit there and go back into the fray and fight with people about things or fight anybody's battles or anything. Sometimes that's what you do. You just pull out, man. You pull out and you go, all right, you know, it actually can keep them in a place where they fight amongst themselves while you just do what's right for you, you know, and your life moves on and they're still back there. You could come back 10 years down the line, they're still going to be doing the same shit. They're still going to be fighting over the same crap, playing the same games with a different target. I mean, it's just silly. I don't know what this is, but it looks like a pain in the butt. And for some reason, I don't know, somebody feels like they can't get away from this. I don't know, is there a child involved? Maybe you have to. Maybe it's like a family conflict or something here that makes things a little complicated. Ooh, we got a Seven of Swords coming out with that. Oh, here's this energy. Here's this energy. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, someone got caught slipping. They gambled their forevermore on some BS, man. I don't know what to say. There's communication about this, and somebody's hoping, maybe somebody's hoping to explain themselves or something. Steal away to explain why things went the way they did or something like this. I don't know. There's sneakiness here, though, with the Seven of Swords. Somebody may be trying to, we got a Queen of Wands, too, okay? We got a pair here. But the way they come out, they both like come out in that cross position and their backs are toward each other. So something that used to be on and popping isn't, or they may be distracted from each other because they're putting out their own fires. I could see it like that. You know? Because somebody got caught slipping. That's what it looks like. They gambled there forevermore on some tail. Now they're both out in the cold. That's what it looks like. I mean, it's pretty clear. I've made a mess for myself. Now what can I do to straighten this mess out? Everything got stirred up, big conflict. I mean, you know, whatever. It is what it is. I don't know. Cut the deck on this. I'm going to pull out a different deck because this storyline wants to keep inserting itself. I mean, that's the truth. That's what went down there. It is what it is. Stick a fork in it. It's done. Do the work. Do what you need to do to transform yourself. I feel like the collective here is just doing the work, you know. You're not attached to this, whatever this is. I mean, you may have been at one point, but it looks like you recognize what was going on. I know that because the way this opened up, you extricated yourself from a situation. You sussed out a mole. You sussed out an influence that was creating molehills for you. And after so many molehills had been created, it started to form a mountain. And then you just, you know, you brought down that mountain. You stood up to that mountain, you brought it down with just a chop of your hand there, man. You just cut through the BS. You saw the way through. Maybe you spoke a truth here. I think you're going to see the results of speaking that truth and taking that decisive action. And what are the fruits of that labor, you know, the work you've done. And maybe even some work you have done. You know, maybe this is time for you to focus on your work, focus on other things than whatever this was. The more you invest your energy in that way, I feel like there's some kind of like personal victory you get here in the wintertime it comes through. You feel pretty good about it. All right. But it has everything to do as well with you being able to cut off distractions and focus your energy where you need to be putting it right now, which is all about where do you want to see growth in your life. And we just entered this new moon cycle. So now is the time to really get your focus in. This is when we do set things into motion and we start to build them and bring them to a culmination point. Really focus on your work right now. This is a place that will bear a lot of fruit for you. I see that, okay? What's behind this work? Ooh, I like that. 9 of Cups, you see? The gravy funnel. Or you can be adult and you can reflect on this crap some more. When here's this perfect alignment, if you just turn around, get your orientation correct. You see, that's how you find temperance here. That's how you balance things out, right? Or you can stay here. You can stay up in your head, continuing to process everything. And we already know, you know, oh, that sneaky stuff back there with the 7 of Swords. Now I feel stuck in that storyline because of the role I played in that. And then it leads to the 9 of Swords where, you know, you're up in your head, you're stressed out about it. And then, you know, what happens next? The 10 of Swords. There you are, you know, face in the mud, in the muck, and you have to figure out how to rise. You know, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. But only you can set yourself free from this, right? You got to let yourself be reborn so you can be washed up on that shore like the great bard Taliesin, and you can open up the path of the mystic in a place of self-discovery. And that is the offer that is on the table for you right now. And if you accept that offer, you cast off all this heaviness, you free yourself from the crossroads, And what you discover is your place in the sun. You get to Ragnarok there. It's like the birth of a new beginning. You get your steed. You get where you need to go. It's Rido. It is the journey of transformation. And you sit here and you wonder, should I invest in it with the Seven of Pentacles? Well, King of Cups, it's up to you and your investment. Because it's only your waters poured into this, your nurturing, that's going to make this garden grow. But I do see you rising and shining here. You're going to answer the call. I do see it. Give it about 2 months. Like once we start to head more into the winter time, that's when this transformation is going to come through. It might be through issuing an important communication. It might be through you cutting through an illusion. It might be through you cutting off some kind of destructive habit or breaking yourself free from a repetitive cycle. But there's time. There's a little separation time here while you figure it out. But this is a case truly where the truth sets you free. And it is the thing that opens your road and has you putting the power back in your hands in a very balanced way. And it brings you this tangible, brand new beginning. But see, it comes through knowing how to use your sword to cut off what has already served its purpose. You have to grasp this Scorpio territory by the tail. So there's something you're settling here in Scorpio season. We just entered Scorpio season here. Okay, so a lot going down right now. Venus is back in Libra where it is at home. And this is the time when we're going to start to see a lot of the blessings, a lot of the balancing out, that temperance energy that come from Jupiter being in Cancer. Okay, it's when we start to really get to see some of those rewards of the work we've done. All right, and for those who maybe didn't get it right, it's still okay. There's always a point of redemption here. And some past redemption are a little more tricky than others. It all depends on how well you learned the lesson here, all right? I do see balancing out happening here, but it looks like the collective here is really rising on up. But there may be somebody, cross-watcher energy, that's still sort of on the periphery of your field here that's about to go through their own process of, you could say, coming to the light, so to speak, but it's kind of a weird way to say it because the light's always there, even in the dark. Even when somebody's choosing to act out of their shadow, the light is still there. It's merely a choice. And one recognizes that when they always act out of their shadow, it's the thing that just keeps them caught up at the crossroads. Well, then that's when, you know, things really start to turn around because you recognize, you know, even when I think I'm getting one over on somebody else, I'm actually, you know, just negatively impacting myself. Okay. So I'm just bringing that in for the cross-watcher energy because it does feel like it's needing to be addressed. So addressing that. But collective, your energy looks really good here, okay? There's some kind of reward coming in. I see you face a fear, and that is the truth with the King of Spades, air sign energy coming out real strongly here. Oh, wow. Queen of Spades on the bottom of the deck, okay? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Also, you know, I do feel like this could be, again, you know, these are two maybe that used to be connected. And they're going through their own transformational process. They could still be connected, you know, but they're just sort of on parallel paths as well. I could see that too. Different stages of transformation. You know, looks like we got a Queen of Spades here aligned with the gravy funnel, and we got this King of Spades here kind of connected to being preparing a drop for that rebirth energy, you know, but still sort of in conflict with something here. That's what I see. All right. And either or, you know, place yourself where you belong in terms of masculine, feminine, all that jazz. I just read it out as it comes out with the cards. This is a queen over here. We got a king over here. All right. And I do feel like they're connected. They come out with the same suit. Okay. There could be a past connection. Doesn't mean that they're not connected now. This could be somebody that you've dealt with for a long time. Okay, and it could play any role in your life. This could be a family member. This could be a friend. This could be a lover. Okay. But you're in two very different spaces, even though you're both on like growth trajectories here. That's what I see. You've got strong fire sign energy out here too. That's predominantly, we had water show up as well. So predominantly what we have on the board is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio is what we got out here. I haven't really seen Earth show up yet. Earth is kind of MIA. Well, you know, if we don't have the water to nurture the Earth, then how can Earth really be on the scene? Like, see, this is what's sort of trying to balance out right now. How can we root something if the water's not there to nurture it? That's why the conflict needs to go. Cauldron of Dagda is of no use if, you know, if there's like this kind of like competitive energy, because it actually just negates the entire spirit of what it means to acquire that treasure. That treasure is to feed the many, not just some. All right, yeah. It's to feed the many, not just some. 10 of Diamonds coming up in the light. Basis of the matter. This is what we're trying to reclaim here. But somebody here is being very selfish and they want to hoard it all for themselves. And it don't work like that. It's time to give it a rest. And here we got the Queen of Diamonds, okay? Queen of Diamonds. Now Earth's here, okay? There's some kind of misalignment here. There's something that needs to be shifted in what somebody's trying to root in material reality. It's not coming from the right place. It's not considering what will nourish the many. It's coming from a more selfishly oriented space. And I don't mean selfish as in self-interested in a way that is balanced, but out of balance. There's something here that is holding on to something too tightly or controlling too much. It looks like whatever this energy is, it may be in opposition to the Queen of Spades because they are facing each other. I feel like whoever this King of Spades energy is, they have already turned their awareness from this Queen of Diamonds and they are focusing on transforming something here. Yeah, they pulled out investment in this. With the 10 of Diamonds in the shadow, they recognize this. Maybe they recognize, okay, I'm not really building with this person. Yeah, there's something here that blotted out the sun. It looked like happiness, but there wasn't success here. Something was blotted out here. And so there's a revision of what wants to be manifested, and there's an understanding that there needs to be a letting go in order to bring about proper alignment. This does require one to have to face something they didn't have the strength to face in the past. It's a little scary. But they know it's what needs to happen if they want to reclaim the keys to the kingdom. It was 53:11 on the clock there. 7:11, okay? Portal of transformation that will bring about alignment here. I see it will get rooted in material reality. Once again, comes in with the timing card, okay? Now, this is interesting because it could be up to 2 months from now, but there's something here about these three being highlighted, okay? So there might be like 3 factors in the mix here. It could be 3 people or 3 variables, 3 different paths to consider as well, but something is being muddled over, and that's why there's the delay in this moving forward. So I do feel like whatever this is, there won't be any kind of progress that comes through until wintertime. I mean, it's coming through pretty strongly. I'm leaning more toward the 2 months on the timing with that. My timing usually is pretty good, I have to say. Pretty good. When these cards come out, those are my like distinct timing cards. Whenever I get the 8 of clubs coming out, that's my distinct timing card. There's different variables involved. That's the holdup with this. And I think it's quite all right. There could be somebody that's trying to control assets or control reputation or even a community in some way. Yeah, they're really not willing to relinquish this control. This is something that was hidden, but it's not anymore. It's being seen, and I think whatever this is, collective, this is attached to that other energy that seems to be connected to a cross-watcher energy. You don't even have any involvement with this. There's a lot of messages going back and forth in relation. You're not even involved. It has nothing to do with you. This is like cast away. It's down there hanging out in the south node. I feel like that's what this King of Spades is dealing with. Collective's like, I don't even know what this is. You may not even be aware that, you know, this person connected to this is even, you know, having a look at you. You know, they may be the cross-watcher energy that's sort of bringing in this storyline. I see that. I think you're cut off from it, and nothing is hidden here. You're well aware of this. Okay, so I think you're doing good. Continue to stay focused on what you're focused on. I like how your energy came in here. You'll know about whatever this is when you're meant to know about it. In the meantime, work. Get to work. Put your energy where you know it needs to go. I think that's going to really work out in your favor. Okay. Yeah, this is a little tricky, devilish energy that somebody is trying to extricate themselves from. They're just becoming aware of it, though. Okay? They're just starting to recognize it. And this could have something to do with the 10th house, too, because I think Capricorn energy. So this could have to do with like public reputation or ability to succeed or gain traction in the world. Like somebody's recognizing a tricky little influence here. I feel like that's the energy that you called out. Like there was some mole energy, something that was trying to erode something in a very like subterranean sort of way. They were not being upfront, you know, and you were able to see through this and you were able to cut out this influence. And because you cut out this influence, you know, now there's like this awakening that's happening over here. I see something, there's other movable parts happening away from you. It has nothing to do with you, but there's a lot coming to light around these tricky influences. And there's a process of moving away from the pack here for healing, starting to recognize, oh, this is what's been causing disappointment for me. This is what's been causing loss for me. Now that I know this, yeah, that's rough. That's difficult truth, but it's a reason for celebration because it means now I know what I need to do to make things better. Now I know what needs to happen in order for me to heal. Yeah, King of Clubs in the shadow. That's this character over here that's in the middle of something embroiled. See, I think that they're kind of pissed off right now about this. They're pissed off when they're recognizing what's been happening, but it's good for them. It opens their road ultimately. Okay, they'll go through a transformation, but that has nothing to do with you. All right, but it is picking it up. And that's how it's coming through. Okay. King of Spades is attached to some kind of cross-watcher energy here. That's what I see. That's what's going on with that. Let me do a cut of the deck. Yep. Discover, learn, and play. You'll know when it's time for you to get a seat at a particular table. I don't think this is your table. I think this is another table. I think this is a table that's being turned over. It's a table being turned in the temple, maybe, perhaps, okay? And yeah, this is a little bit of confusion as people wake up from illusions here, but I feel like you're more heading into the fantasy realm, you know? You're dreaming up a new dream and you're okay leaving this, you know, to sort itself out. I don't see you in communication with any of this. I know. It's not your energy. You're discovering new things. You're out there, you know, investing your energy in something. You may be keeping your energy to yourself, but I feel like you're working on things that, you know, are quite positive in nature, and you're feeling good. I mean, gravy funnel is a great energy, so don't get involved. That's what's coming through that I see here. Don't get involved in that. Okay, it's not for you to resolve. I think you already extricated yourself from this, but If you've been feeling some energy pulling at you, yeah, you know, you still have some characters fixated on you. I'm sure they'd like to pull you into this. Don't be a sucker. Let's get a card here from the Herbal Astrology Oracle just to see how you might want to work your magic in relation to this. How do you need to work your alchemy work around this? Like, where do you need to put your focus? What do you need to transmute? What plant allies or stone allies, elemental allies might want to come in to help with the process, and we'll just cap this off with this. So we're just putting this in place for the next 72 hours. So these are energies that may be introducing themselves, okay? But do know that whatever is introducing itself, or whatever you're sort of feeling on the periphery there, like this isn't even really going to play a role in your reality until you're at that point of later on in the winter. I feel that's when something will become clear to you. Also some arrival point, but there's something for the road coming in here for you. Just open this up. It's going to fill your cup. It's going to give you a bit of a second wind. Got the gravy funnel, so be on the lookout for that, okay? It's interesting though. There's definitely somebody whose timeline is connected to yours. I do feel like there will be a meetup, like a new beginning. It has that vibe, like you all will end up on the same timeline eventually. I mean, this could be somebody that, you know, they're right beside you, but where you're at, like internally, spiritually, you know, even dimensionally, that may sound strange, but your physical body can be in the same place, it appears, but where you're at, you know, what your focus is and what you're moving through can be like a whole parallel dimension. And this is kind of like got that kind of vibe here. But you'll get to the point where you do see eye to eye, where you do understand each other. There's something that's needing to be kept like in that state of sort of like some breathing room here, though, I see, so it doesn't muddy up your timeline, okay? That's how it's coming through. Bottom of the deck. Yes, it's an initiation. 11 energy coming in with that justice energy signature. We got Venus coming in here with Uranus. So see, there's something beautiful up ahead for you here. There's something here that's just going to crack your heart open and get you to the center of all that sweetness. And this is a time of really coming into the heart. You're not broken by anything you went through. You're broken open. And now you can really get to the sweetness that's on the other side of that. And somebody is going through this now. They're waking up out of illusion. And they're in the process of being thrashed against those rocks of the shores of love so they can get to the sweetness in their heart too. Everybody comes to that shore eventually at some point in time. But I just feel you already surfed these waves of change, you know, and so you're used to this at this point. But you might be like feeling the reverberations of that, you know. You might be feeling that like somebody's just entering their wave of change and your timelines are parallel, I feel. Yes. Leadership. Once again, we got justice scales right there. This is a past matter. And I feel like you're already, you know, hitching a ride with the tail of that star. You've already gotten to the promise on the other side. You're well on your way. So I feel like you've entered your stargate. And this is all that energy. It's like you plucked something out of the void with that energy of Uranus and Gemini. Like you made it work for you. You made it work for you. And so you're just on a different trajectory. You're already here. Like you're already in the waterway. You already spilled something out. You're actively involved in this transformation. We got leadership coming in here. Also lion's mane. Lion's mane is very beneficial for the nervous system. Okay, so just understand that, yeah, you're in uncharted territory right now, but where you're heading is somewhere progressive. Your star is on the rise, so to speak. You are moving on up towards your destiny. And I think there's also other star mates here that are going to be joining you. It's like you're starting to come into harmony with people that share your vision here. There's going to be a lot more communication coming in, and maybe things are going to be quite unexpected. I feel like in a very positive way, but there's a sense of you really taking a leadership role in your life. And I think that's important at this time. It's time for you to take the lead in your life. And there may have been a lot of times where you were just kind of content to go with the flow, what everyone else was doing. And that's what's really causing like some shakeups right now, is that you're taking a risk to maybe stand alone and lead a charge. I also feel like there's something you're working on here where you really need to like take the lead in relation to this. But I do like this energy. It's very beautiful, very empowering. And we do see Eridanus there, that river in the sky. So there's a lot of records opening up here too. I do feel like there's certain gifts you hold and knowledge you hold that you have not accessed yet. That's deep, deep, deep in the DNA, in the memory banks, like those Akashic memory banks. And I do feel like a lot of that is going to start to surface for you, and it's really important that you act on it so you really can see its validity by just trusting some of these inspired ideas you get, or the way you're guided to work your own special brand of alchemy, and just watch how things start to transform. But you are taking charge in something here, and I like it. It's good. Cut of the deck to cap it off. Ooh. Lemon balm, nurture. So yeah, you're getting really productive with something here. Again, it's the blessings of all that work that you've done. We got Venus coming in with Saturn here. All right, so stay focused on this. Stay productive with this. Nurture this. It is your vehicle forward. And on the other side here, it's funny because I split it and this card deck was still upright. Look on the top there. We have that Empress energy coming in with rosemary, ancient memory. So see, there is something you're remembering here. And you did pluck some diamond out of the void here. There's a lot of communication coming in now about your light, like your core essence and what you're meant to share, what you're meant to radiate out into the world. So pay attention to this. But let's see what was on the bottom of the deck here. You're at that beginning point, purity. You see, just like a babe, you're going to find that path that leads to your stargate, that leads to that stargate that comes in Aquarius, that ring of fire on the 17th of February 2026. But this is just the beginning. First, a stop at an inn. That's what I'm hearing. First, a stop at an inn. You're not there yet. That's up ahead. It's up ahead. Ooh, that's interesting message too. Before you get to the true star mountain, it's like before there was something that was put in the field of awareness. It was just molehills. You might have mistook it for the mountain, and that's what made your climb so difficult. But the true star mountain is up ahead. But first, a stop at an inn. Calendula, purity, magician energy, patience. You're not at that part of the leg of the journey yet, but do look for signs of it to come. All right. This feels like a good point to leave this off. Godspeed.